Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everyone. So welcome to our group forum discussion. So our main discussion of today about active learning strategies for effective teaching. So this discussion is part of our pedagogy in education coursework. So is designed to explore how active learning methods contribute to creating student-centered environment and support the global agenda of sustainable development goal for quality education. SDG 4 emphasize inclusive equitable and quality education for all, so as well as promoting lifelong learning opportunities. So our discussion today will explore active learning techniques, their impact, implementation across subject, and the challenge faced by educator and practical solutions. My name is Muhammad Ashraf bin Rosli. I will be moderating to the sessions, and we have five panelists who will each focus on a different subtopic. Let's begin. So our first panelist will introduce us to the foundation of active learning by explaining its concept and sharing some common classroom technique that encourage student participation and engagement. So please welcome panelist one who will present exploring active learning technique.
Okay, thank you to our moderator. My name is Muhammad Irfan Nabil. So I will tell you all about exploring active learning technique. First of all, active learning is a teaching approach that emphasizes student participation that, and engagement in the learning process. Unlike traditional methods where students passively listen to lecturers, active learning encourages them to interact with the material through activities such as discussion, problem solving, and hand-on tasks. The main goal is to help students understand concepts more deeply by involving them directly in their own learning. There are several techniques commonly used in active learning. For example, think, pair, share allows students to reflect on a question, discuss with a partner, and then share with the class. Problem-based learning (PBL) involve working in groups to solve real-world problems, while peer teaching encourages students to explain concepts to one another. Other strategies include group discussion, role-playing, case studies, interactive quiz, and short writing tasks like minute papers or exit tickets. Using active learning technique has many benefits. It helps students stay engaged, promote critical thinking, improve communication and collaboration skill, and often leads to better understanding and retention of information. By actively involving students in the learning process, teachers can create a more dynamic and effective classroom environment. To conclude my point, active learning is a powerful and student-centered approach that transforms the traditional classroom into an engaging and interactive learning environment. By using techniques such as discussion, problem solving, and peer collaboration, students become more involved and take greater responsibility for their learning. This method not only deepens understanding but also equips learners with essential skills for real life success.
Alright, thank you, panelist one, for laying out the basic of active learning. So now let's move further into more advanced strategies that promote higher order thinking and collaborations. So these techniques are vital for fostering critical thinking and deeper learning. So please welcome panelist two with exploring active learning technique.
Thank you for the moderator. Assalamualaikum and very good day to everyone. Today, for my part, I would like to share about how active learning strategies can significantly benefit student engagement and the development of critical thinking skill in the classroom. To begin, let's understand what active learning actually means. Active learning is a teaching approach where students are actively involved in the learning process rather than passively receiving information. Instead of the teacher being the only source of knowledge, students become participants in their own learning journey. Activities such as think, pair, share, group work, role playing, debate, case study, and problem solving tasks are common examples for active learning strategies. Moreover, active learning support different learning style. Some students learn best through visual, others through listening, and some through hand-on experience. By including a variety of activities in the classroom, teachers can accommodate diverse learners, helping each student to engage in the way that suits them best. This makes the learning environment more inclusive and supportive. Aside from engagement, active learning is highly effective in developing critical thinking skill. Critical thinking skill involve analyzing, evaluating, and synthesizing information to make reasoned decisions. In an active learning classroom, students are encouraged to ask questions, consider different perspectives, reflect on their own idea, and come up with creative solutions to problems. For example, in the group discussion or problem-based learning activities, students learn to express their opinion, listen to others, and revive their thinking based on new information. This experience helps students go beyond memorizing facts. They learn how to apply what they know to new situations, make connection between different topics, and think independently. These are essential skills not only for academic achievement but also for success in future career and everyday life. In addition, active learning encourages collaboration and communication when students work together on a task. They develop teamwork skill, how to respect different views and build a sense of community in the classroom. This kind of positive learning environment can increase student confidence and help reduce anxiety or fear of making mistakes. In conclusion, active learning strategies are powerful tools in education. They enhance student engagement, foster critical thinking, support diverse learning style, and create a more positive classroom environment. As a future educator, it is important for us to continually reflect on our teaching practice and find ways to make learning more active, meaningful, and enjoyable for our students. By doing so, we we can better prepare them not only for exam but also for life beyond the classroom. Thank you.
Alright, thank you for this too. That was an insightful explanation of how powerful active learning can be in shaping student thinking. So our next panelist will discuss how active learning can be implemented across various subject and educational levels, from primary school to higher education, and from language classes to science labs. So let's welcome panelist 3 presenting the implementing active learning across subject and level.
Hello everyone, my name is Fauzi bin Abdul Jahil. My CAD matrix MS 2410313161. Today I'm going to talk about implementing active learning across subject and level. Active learning is when students do more than just listen to teacher. They take part in activity, talk with friends, and think about what they are learning. For example, students may work in group, do problem solving, or complete project. This helps them understand better. Experts like Piaget and Vygotsky say that we learn best by doing and by interacting with others. Why active learning is important? Active learning is very useful because it helps students think deeply, solve problems, and use knowledge in real life. It also helps students become more confident, take responsibility, and enjoy learning more. For example, in science and math subject, students can do experiments or solve questions in group. This helps them do better in school and understand the topic more clearly. In language or story subject, students can do role play, read journal, or have class discussion. This activity help improve their speaking and thinking skill. While in technical subject, students can join workshop, do project, or use simulation to learn skill for theory life. Even though activity learning helpful, there are some challenges. Sometimes classes are too big, there is not enough time or resources. Teacher may need training and exam may not match the active learning style. But we can solve this problem. School can give training to teachers, use technology like online tools, quiz, and group chat, and create more flexible classroom setup. All this can make active learning powerful way to help students understand better, think more, learn a useful skill, and stay interested in class. It makes learning more meaningful and effective at every level. In conclusion, active learning helps students learn better, think more, and enjoy class. It can be used in all subjects and for all age with good help and tools. Teacher can use it easily and help students do well in class and in life. Thank you.
Alright, thank you, Vanessa. It's clear that active learning is adaptable to many contexts, but what about the challenge? So our fourth panelists will now discuss the common obstacle teachers face when trying to adopt with active learning, such as time constraints, class size, lack of training, and systematic limitations. So please welcome panelists four with the topic challenge in adopting active learning.
Okay, thank you all moderators. Assalamualaikum and very good day to everyone. My name is Muhammad Shakir bin Muhammad Tasim. Today I will be speaking on behalf of panel 4, focusing on the topic challenge in adopting active learning. Active learning has gained widespread attention as a student-centered approach that encourages deeper understanding, critical thinking, and better engagement. However, while the benefits are clear, many educators still face significant barriers when trying to implement active learning in real classroom settings. I will now elaborate on five key challenges. Number one is attitudes of teacher and student. One of the biggest hurdles in mindset in an attitude. Many teachers have been trained or are more familiar with traditional lecture-based methods. They might feel that active learning is risky, time-consuming, or difficult to manage. Some fear losing control of the classroom or believe that students might not take activities seriously. On the other hand, students may not be using to being active participant in their own learning. In some education system, students are conditioned to listen, memorize, and reproduce information in exam. So, when they are asked to think critically, work in teams, or speak up in discussion, they may feel anxious, as uncertain, and unmotivated. Changing the Changing this mindset requires time, support, and consistent practice. Number two is time constraints. The second challenge is limited time for planning and execution. Designing a meaningful active learning or activity such as a debate, role play, or case study often requires extra preparation compared to traditional lesson. Teachers need to create materials, organize groups, and anticipate classroom management issues. Furthermore, during actual teaching, active learning typically takes longer than delivering a lecture. For example, giving students time to explore a problem, discuss, and present takes up more classroom minutes. This become a problem when teachers feel pressure to finish the syllabus or prepare students for standardized exams. The lack of time can discourage teachers from experimenting with active learning strategies. Number three is large class size. The third challenge is managing active learning in large classroom. When you have 40 or more students in a single class, it becomes difficult to ensure that everyone is involved. Teachers may struggle to monitor multiple groups at once, provide feedback, and keep noise level under control. In such environments, Some students may dominate the activity while to others stay passive. It becomes harder to assess individual contribution, and the teacher may feel overwhelmed trying to juggle classroom control with facilitating active tasks. This situation often leads to frustration, and teachers may choose to revert to lecture, which feel more manageable in large groups. Number four is lack of resource and infrastructure. Another major challenge is the lack of resource and facilities, especially in underprivileged or rural schools. Active learning often relies on access to materials, whether physical tools, printed worksheets, and digital platforms. Unfortunately, some schools may not have projectors, stable internet access, or even enough space to carry out group work comfortably. Number five is assessment difficulties. Lastly, there is the issue of assessing learning outcomes in active learning environments. Traditional exams are easy to mark and standardize, but how do we measure creativity, collaboration, or problem solving? These are essential 21st century skills, but they require different form and evaluation, such as rubrics, peer reviews, self-assessment, or project presentation. Many teachers may not be trained in alternative assessment methods. It also takes extra time to observe, record, and grade this outcome fairly. As a result, active learning may be undervalued or avoided, especially in schools that focus heavily on test performance. In conclusion, while active learning offers enormous potential, its implementation is not without challenge. Time limitation in class size, the lack of process, and assessment complexity. These are real issues that must be addressed with care. To move forward, we must provide ongoing professional development, ensure schools are equipped with the right tools, and rethink how we measure learning success. By doing so, we can make active learning not just a trend, but sustainable, inclusive, and effective approach for every classroom. Thank you.
Alright, thank you, Principal, for highlighting the critical barriers. So, finally, we will hear from our last panelist who will share practical solution and recommendation to help educators to overcome this challenge and make active learning more accessible and sustainable. So, please welcome panelist wise. So, please welcome panelist 5 with the solution and recommendation.
Thank you for moderator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Abdul Nizam bin Mokhtar, and today I will explain my part, which is what the solution and recommendation for effective teaching. So the first one is student-centered approach. One of the most promising solutions to elevate teaching process is the adoption of student-centered learning process. The traditional method that largely consists of passive lecture and rote memorization disengage the student and stifle out of the box thinking. On the other hand, students are empowered in active learning strategies such as team-based, project-based learning, and inquiry-based learning. This approach stimulates collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. The student focus of control is altered so that a student is the center. The instructor is the simply a guide. Was involvement increase student engagement and retention. The second is technology for engagement and access. In the icon of education, technology has been provided as a powerful instrument for improving teaching and learning. Technology, when used and when used effective via Google Classroom, Kahoot, Quizlet, or other interactive simulation render the lesson engaging and accessible. It may also aid in flipped classroom, where students at home learn the basic and they in classroom. They apply concept by discussion or solving problem. Some virtual learning tools also provide support in personalizing instruction and delivering time feedback to students. When implemented appropriately,
Technology set the stage for bridging gaps in learning and rendering education more inclusive. And the third is utilize technology strategically in the classroom. Teachers should integrate digital tools to support learning and increase student motivation. However, this should be done with clear learning objective in mind and balanced with human interaction. Tools like learning management system, interactive quizzes, and virtual labs can enhance both in-person and online instruction. And the last one is engage in continuous professional development. School should provide regular training and workshop for teachers to stay updated with new pedagogical method and technology tools. Teachers are also encouraged to engage in self-reflection and co-learning to improve their practice. In conclusion, effective teaching requires a dynamic and responsive approach that involves with the changing needs of students and society. The implementation of student-centered learning strategy empower learners to take charge of the education, fostering critical thinking, collaboration, and creativity. Simultaneously, the strategic use of technology enhances engagement, accessibility, and personalized learning, making education more inclusive and relevant. That's all from me. Thank you. Alright, thank you, Benis 5. So, thank you to all our panelists for their informative and thought provoking presentation. So, allow me to briefly summarize the key points from each of the panelists. So, panelist 1, give us a basic understanding of what active learning is. So instead of just listening to lecture, students are involved through methods like think per share, group discussion, and also peer teaching. So this activity improve engagement, critical thinking, and help students to understand concept more deeply. The conclusion was clear, so active learning creates a more dynamic and effective classroom. So panelist 2, focus on how active learning boosts engagement and critical thinking. So when students are active involved, they stay motivated and confident. So it's also support different learning style, whether visual, auditory, or hands-on. So more importantly, students learn to think critically by analyzing and solving problems, which help them in school and in life. So chemistry talk about how active learning can be used across different subject and levels. For example, science classes can use experiment, language classes can use role play, and technical subject can have hands-on project. So the idea is backed by learning theories from Jean Piaget and the Vygotsky. So we learn best by doing and interacting. So with the proper support and tools, active learning can be effective for all students. Witness 4. Share the challenge of applying active learning in real classroom. So this include teacher and student mindset, time constraint, large class size, lack of resources, and difficulties with assessment. So these are real barriers, especially in school with limited support. To overcome them, school need to provide training, resources, and new ways to measure learning. And lastly, from panelist 5, focus on solution and recommendation. So one key solution is using student-centered strategies like project-based and inquiry-based learning. So technology also plays a big role. Tools like Google Classroom and Kahoot make learning more engaging and accessible. So they recommend ongoing teacher training and strategic use of tech to support students better. So in conclusion, active learning is more than just a teaching method. It's a powerful way to make learning engaging, meaningful, and student-centered. So it helps students to develop essential skills like critical thinking, collaboration, and a real-world problem solving. So while challenge exists, such as limited time, large classes, and the lack of resources, this can be overcome with proper support, training, and creative use of technology. So as a future educator, it's our role to create learning environment that inspire participation and growth, so not just memorization. So let's move forward with the mindset that students learn best when they are actively involved in their own learning journey. So let's work together to create classrooms that are not just about the memorizing facts, but about thinking, doing, and growing. So that's all from us. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. Bye.